It's week 1 of the 2025 season, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Steelers.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away, and we are underway on a Monday night. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
All right, partner, a brand new season. With it comes a sense of unbridled optimism for every team and, of course, every quarterback. It's a blank slate for every passer in this league, and he really couldn't hide his excitement during interviews this week. He thinks this offense is stacked. They've spent the entire offseason making adjustments and trying to find another gear. And as this season begins, they believe they've found it. You watch him warm up, everything is crisp, moving with great speed. This is an offense that can't wait to get to the first series of the new year.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. Tua sets up to pass it. Tua hit, and the ball is out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
So here are the Ravens with great field position to start out. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
In recent years, we've seen a lot of love for North Dakota State in the NFL draft. And Trey Lance, he's a great example of what the Bison are sending to the league each and every year. This guy looks like a franchise quarterback. He wants his opportunity to prove it to the rest of the league.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Following the fumble recovery, Lance. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down. Moore, the man in motion. Shotgun now for Lance. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing now is Lance. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Holding offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. In motion right, one of the tight ends. To throw, it's Lance. He's got his man. It's Andrews. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. George Pickens from 13 yards out. And the Ravens are on the board here first in the season opener. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. Tua going to throw. Goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, fingers crossed here. First quarter of a new season, already an injury. And while they attend to him, we'll step aside. They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Here's Lance. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football. One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spotted it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Now Tua. Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. That's sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. From the gun, it's Taylor. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yards to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
On play action, Lance completes this one to Pickens. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. And this will be taken at the 13. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. From the 23, here's the 2nd down and 6. Here's Tua. Short throw caught by the tight end Oliver. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down again. Hassan Reddick, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And now here come the Ravens.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Here's Lance to throw it. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And complete right side to Cook. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Holding offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Thompson Robinson now to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Thompson Robinson now. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, if nothing else, they were able to pick up 1 first down on this drive and get it away from their own goal line. But not much happening after that, and it leads to a punting situation.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Looking to pass. Tua. Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Hassan Reddick make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere. But it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The slot man in motion right.
Oh, a fake on the jet sweep as they run with Cook up the middle.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Option play. Here's Cook.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll give to Cook on the read option. And he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's about it. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. The DTR going to throw it here. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Rico now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Tua. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll run here with Connor, and they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. 1 second, all that remains. And that went to the right side and incomplete. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, where you see the final score there. Brock Purdy, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. From there, we'll head to Buffalo to check on what's happening with the Bills at Highmark Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Marvin Mims, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. Joe Burrow with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
In motion left goes a tight end.
To throw is DTR. Pass caught by Pearsall.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in Week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Thompson Robinson here from the gun.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Second down and 10.
Now Cook running right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
Here's Thompson Robinson looking to throw it.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game. Yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Second down, another run with Taylor.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples.
Still second
What I
down.
always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Tua sets up to pass it. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Javon Hargrave coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Chauncey Golston now with his second sack here on opening night. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Moore, the man in motion. Thompson Robinson throwing here. That's complete to Pearsall. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Off the play fake, Thompson Robinson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's taken down inside the 30. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Thompson Robinson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. And once more, it's Thompson Robinson. He's got this to Pickens. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Cook will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Again, it's Cook, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. That second down play nets a -4.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. First and goal, no gain. Second and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball third time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
Being chased out left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Dorian Thompson-Robinson taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are able to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Steelers ready for their next possession. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Tua going to throw. Pass hauled in by Johnston. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Pittsburgh.
Now Tua. He's got another one to Johnston. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. From the 43, here's 2nd down and 7. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 43. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Taylor. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Tua. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Short throw caught by the tight end Oliver. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 17-yard line. Up the middle, here's Taylor. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
That's Samuel, caught left side. Now we'll pause here for an injury, and it's Deebo Samuel. He's the man in question right now who will need some attention. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Steelers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This is 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Thompson Robinson now. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
A throw out wide going to be incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Short throw caught by the tight end, Oliver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
At the 47-yard line.
Looking to pass. Tua. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
They've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he'll get this one up to about his 14.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Third down from the gun, Thompson Robinson.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Tua. Johnston on the quick slant.
First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started. Nice gain. Got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Now Tua. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Throwing Tua.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here's 3rd and 7. To throw is DTR. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has the Ravens first down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
partner, that'll do it. These Week 1 primetime games, they always seem to have a little bit more electricity, a little more anticipation. A fun one tonight, and a lot of fun ones that we have on the road ahead.
And, partner, I love the word you just used there, electricity. Things were crackling out there, weren't they? And let's face it, both of these teams came in with the idea, get off to the start. Get off to a 1-0 start and get your season going. That could spark an excellent season for them. They've got that in their pocket now.
So for the Ravens, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new campaign 1-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.